It's time for another episode of Ask the Lawyer. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and today's topic is whistleblowers. Now, you may have noticed in the news the word whistleblower being used a lot lately. Well, today our guest is going to help us understand the laws that surround whistleblowing, and here to answer our questions is attorney Jason T. Brown of Brown LLC, based in New Jersey. He and his firm protect whistleblowers all across the country. Jason, thank you for making some time for us today. I appreciate that.
Good afternoon, Rob. Thank you for having me.
Let's start with a definition. What is a whistleblower, especially as the law recognizes one?
Sure. I mean, we do hear whistleblowers quite a bit in the press nowadays. And a whistleblower is an individual who has the courage and integrity to expose something that's illegal or corrupt on the inside and make it public, but they have to do so in the right manner. The colloquial version is the first part. The legal portion is take that individual and have them benefit from using one of the statutes available to whistleblower.
Just from talking to you for about 2 minutes now, Jason, I can already tell it's very complicated, and you need to have somebody who really has a good grasp on all the intricacies of this. I can't imagine trying to do it by yourself.
Yeah, it really is something where if you fumble the ball out of the gate, you may have blown your case. If you try to file a False Claims Act without properly notifying the Attorney General and that individual United States Attorney, you may have already lost the case procedurally. Initially, even some firms don't know how to file these types of cases. The instinct generally is once you file a lawsuit to serve the other side. That's the conventional way of litigating. That's what lawyers are trained to do. Mm-hmm. In this area of law, you file, you don't serve the other side. So there's a lot of pitfalls for the unwary with this type of case.
So then is your recommendation, because I know I've worked for companies in the past and they have those lines. Oh, it's the tip line, it's the human resources line to call. Is your recommendation not to call that first, maybe to get representation first before you do that?
My strong recommendation is to obtain counsel first and go over what your options are first. I was sitting in a deposition last year where one of the plaintiffs mentioned that every single person that called that line got fired. Every single person without exception in one of these companies. So you should know what your options are before you call that line, and you should know what your parachute is. And that's something that we discuss with individuals as clients. What are the risks? Will I be fired? What's the likelihood I'll be able to keep my job afterwards? How long does this process take? And these are the questions, depending upon the facts that an individual whistleblower confronts us with. We can give some illumination and guidance about have a parachute ready if the case is taking a certain trajectory. Or maybe this is not a case you want to blow the whistle because it's not likely to effectuate change and you're likely to get terminated over it. Wow. And I think that's a very important determination. And one more thing about that. You know, when we're evaluating cases for potential whistleblowers, we do it free of charge, meaning if it turns out that after we've consulted with an individual and we determine maybe blowing the whistle is not the right thing to do, we'll explain to you why, and you don't owe us a dime at the end of the day.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So the big story, the big whistleblower story that we hear about in the news these days, regardless of, without getting any sort of politics, but we keep hearing, are they going to say who the whistleblower is or not? So it sounds like you're saying not all whistleblower cases do you get to maintain anonymity. Is that correct?
That's correct. It all depends upon invoking the benefit of a statute and whether or not you can actually progress from start to finish under that statute being anonymous, either publicly or privately. We generally don't take cases in the False Claims Act where the individual wants to stay anonymous from start to finish. Okay. We'll consider it, but we generally don't take it for one reason or another.
Let's talk about your background a little bit. You have experience as FBI legal advisor and a special agent. How do you think that helps you in whistleblower law? The
main statute we sue for whistleblowers under is the False Claims Act. And a lot of the False Claims Act deals with the federal government and interfacing with the United States Attorney's Office. And when I was an FBI agent, that's what we would do all the time, work hand in hand with the United States Attorney's Office. Both are part of the Department of Justice. And that's ultimately who prosecutes these False Claims Act cases that our firm focuses on.
Gotcha. Jason, thank you so much for answering our questions today. I've already learned so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been attorney Jason T. Brown of Brown LLC, based in New Jersey and handling cases all over the country. If you want the best information about whistleblowing or you're ready to choose a lawyer that lawyers choose, be sure to visit askthelawyer.com. Also, please click at on the button at the bottom of the screen. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll know about future episodes. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com.